Yu-Gi-Oh was cool. Did you know that before Yu-Gi-Oh was an anime about a children's trading card game where the villains would send people to a vaguely defined shadow realm, likely full of torture and suffering? It was about Yugi getting possessed by the spirit of the Millennium Puzzle and playing games with people who wronged him or his friends, usually with life or death consequences. I don't think a lot of the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga aged very well, and that's actually probably why the Duel Monsters anime doesn't really follow its continuity. But you know what? I'm not here for Duel Monsters, which I feel is superior to the first manga even if it has its own issues. I'm actually here to rate the chapters of the beginning parts of Yu-Gi-Oh! Out of 10 for stupid reasons. And just for a fair warning, I'm pretty accustomed to both the dub and sub names of the cast, so those are probably going to be used fairly interchangeably. I don't think either is really superior to the other because frankly I hate the name Honda since I think of my first motorcycle, which is now in the vehicular shadow realm. Chapter 1. Joey and strange-looking Tristan bully small Yugi, but you forgive that because Yugi displayed horny elements thinking about Anzu's panties. His grandpa also comments on Anzu's chest size, and there's a security guard from that one motorcycle anime I forget the name of. And he almost stabs the pharaoh, but then he just drives him insane, ruining his life forever, I guess. 8 out of 10! Chapter 2. More Jinochi and Yugi horniness talking about censored pornography. TV director by proxy beats the shit out of Yugi for TV ratings, and if you haven't noticed, the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga is so chock full of violence. Anyway, the spirit gives us some fancy information about the history of dice in Egypt, and he challenges the director. The spirit wins and gruesomely blinds the man for life. 7 out of 10. Chapter 3. Big guy with pointy Josuke hair threatens Yugi and another short person, and Yugi condemns him to a permanent case of exploding head syndrome. 6 out of 10. Battle 4. Criminal breaks out of jail conveniently when Yugi and Joey suspect Anzu of being an underage hooker, and catch her working at a fast food place, which is for some reason against school rules. After some magnificent catch-up penmanship, Anzu is held at gunpoint while blindfolded, and Yugi shows him the power of friendship by burning the man alive in a public restaurant. 6 out of 10 for story, but I'm boosting it to an 8 out of 10 for having to spot the difference puzzle at the end. 5. Strange, short gremlin man fondles a hand and then decides to try and murder Yugi and use chloroform to rape Anzu. Instead of murder or debilitating conditions, he's just knocked out and will be exposed as a psychic fraud. 5 out of 10. Battle 6. Stovetop gunpowder ice hockey. 8 out of 10. 7. Honda is upgraded to main character and gets character development by getting rejected. 9 out of 10. 8. Jinochi struggles to buy a pair of Jordans, gets mugged, and the pharaoh poisons a guy, presumably non-fatally. 6 out of 10. Chapter 9. Duel Monsters is introduced and Kaiba robs Yugi of a Blue Eyes White Dragon card, inciting the Shadow Games. 9 out of 10. 10. Yugi beats Kaiba thanks to the Blue Eyes preferring Yugi's granddad, despite later being established as Seto's past life girlfriend. Kaiba experiences vivid hallucinations of death that give him a case of PTSD. 10 out of 10. 11. Joy hangs out with some guys and they threaten to kill him. Alcoholic parent out of 10. Chapter 12. Joey has the shit beaten out of him and is tased brutally. Yugi shows up and electrocutes the boys. 6 out of 10. 13. Shaddy's debut by murdering a fat dude with an alligator, then goes full Mindhunter on Yugi. 9 out of 10. 14. The pharaoh attempts murder on Shaddy before sparing him and kicking him out. 9 out of 10. Chapter 15. Shaddy mind breaks a cool archaeologist to instigate a showdown with the pharaoh. Setup out of 10. 16. Cool archaeologist suffers dental hell and Anzu goes through damsel syndrome again. 5 out of 10. 17. Why are Egyptian games frequently associated with riddles? 4 out of 10. Battle 18. Shaddy summons the Gate of Execution again and makes Yugi suffer another riddle. 7 out of 10. 19. Yugi overpowers Shaddy with friendship, and Jinochi experiences what must be an incredible upper body workout after catastrophic rope failure. Friendship out of 10. 20. The same thing with more friendship and dental horror. 9 out of 10 because the cool way Shaddy catches the Millennium Key. 21. Tamagotchi keychains make a comeback, but it's implied the creatures are actually sentient, expressing terror at the horrible demon creature Yugi must fight. Detroit become human out of 10. Chapter 22. Zomber of the Dark was inspired by this chapter, so I'm giving an instant 8.5 out of 10. Chapter 23. Child Vigilante is possibly blinded, and Yugi decides to go back to immolation. 8 out of 10. 24. Elementary school children and a hentai protagonist-esque Mokuba coerce Yugi with guns, tasers, and knives to play Capsule Monsters, and Mokuba experiences a claustrophobic nightmare. 9 out of 10, but I'm boosting it to 10 out of 10 for containing my favorite designed Yu-Gi-Oh character ever. Battle 25. The 1-inch terror reminds me of my nickname in the sheets. 2 out of 10. 26. Possible source for the Hungry Burger Ritual card. 10 out of 10. 27. Seto's literal PTSD is not an excuse to duel an old man into a coma. 7 out of 10. 28. Kaiba hires military elites and a hitman to kill Yugi, who is conveniently able to meet up with all of his friends. 6 out of 10. 29. Joey outsmarts and outspeeds a man established as an expert at guerrilla warfare, and Tristan manages to electrocute the other two. I'm lowering the rating to this one because I can't understand why on earth Kaiba would give Anzu one of the guns that can actually kill people. 4 out of 10. 30. A horror ride where you get punished for screaming sounds like a great idea, but I feel like we've crossed multiple moral event horizons by including the Anzu fondling machine and actual baby shit. Joji, you're one cool guy out of 10. 31. Yoshikage Kira tiered disarming machine, 8 out of 10. 32. Kaiba displays a pragmatic sense of second chances by allowing a man who murdered 10 Boy Scouts a place at his company. Joey takes a page out of Yugi's book and lights the man on fire, 8 out of 10. 33. Deadly musical chairs reminds me of that one monkey image, 9.5 out of 10. 34. I want to establish that this chapter started a rumor about Yugi being diabetic, and a few idiots really took that to heart. We also have the pharaoh insulting the shit out of Mokuba, and I respect that, 9 out of 10. 35. Yugi cheats by supposedly scoring a critical hit on a monster when his had already died and there was no indication of a stronger attack, 7.5 out of 10. 36. Kaiba attempts to drive his own brother into insanity, and we get to see more Duel Monsters, 9 out of 10. 37. More Duel Monsters, setup out of 10. 38. Kaiba summons a second Blue Eyes White Dragon while Yugi's grandpa is dying in the hospital, and Yugi learns about Exodia, 9 out of 10. 39. Exodia is summoned and is just as cool as it was in the original anime, leaving Kaiba lost for words, 10 out of 10. 40. Yugi mind breaks Kaiba and renders him comatose, sending the economic stability of countless families working for his company into doubt. Also, Yugi's grandpa survived surgery or something, 9 out of 10. 41. More keychain garbage and Yugi getting NTR'd by the pharaoh, Yugi's mom, out of 10. 42. I guess it's not a bad chapter, but I really hate how expositional the stagehand is and how strangely he words the button thing. Another business is also set into disrepair by the pharaoh, 6 out of 10. 43. Yugi is again beaten publicly and all over a stupid handheld game, but I really like the crack that appears in this guy's face, so 6 out of 10. 44. It's established our enemy is a gamer, and while I appreciate the body horror going on with Yugi, I don't understand the implication of there being multiple levels of darkness in a game. I also really enjoy the fact that this teenager, who, while a total piece of shit, is turned into a donut like that one JoJo character, killing him brutally, 7 out of 10. 45. Anzu Milkies, 10 out of 10. 46. Alright, this chapter is okay, but anytime I hear about Feng Shui, I'm reminded of that horrible fucking fight from Stone Ocean. 47. I originally was just going to include the rating for this chapter in with the last one, but Amori states that Yugi's soul, while trapped in a jar, is fine because it takes at least 3 months to entirely consume a soul, which makes me wonder how a partially consumed soul would function in everyday life. 7 out of 10. 48. Literal yo-yo gang fights involving that one gang member who was friends with Joey a long time ago. And we also see Yugi hung by the neck. 6 out of 10. 49. Alright, so the scans I have for this pages aren't great, but I can at least enjoy, like Joey, nearly ripping off a bunch of teenagers' fingers, and at best crippling a teenager, and at worst executing him. So 9 out of 10. Chapter 50. Bakura is introduced as a tabletop RPG fan, and after being harassed by yet another shitty teacher in this school, is given the most metal Millennium item seen yet, with the ring stabbing through his chest. Also, bonus points for me realizing there was once a time when I heard role-playing and didn't know furries existed. 9 out of 10. 51. Is this a Red Eyes Black Dragon sneak preview? 8 out of 10. 52. Bakura owns a pretty slick game board, and I find it interesting that he's put a representation of his past life into the RPG. 9 out of 10. 53. We're in the ultimate role-playing game, and despite hyping himself up, Honda practically commits suicide until Yugi cheats for him. 8 out of 10. 55. The trap the gang walks into is absolutely brutal, and I respect the dick move of requiring 1 out of 100 numbers, which is followed by these brand new adventures somehow having a much higher speed than the Dark Master of all things. 6 out of 10. 56. I can't really tell if sealing souls or emotions into a die is cheating, but it lets Yugi roll 4 critical hits that do nothing anyway. But I can also laugh at Bakura rolling a one-hit kill move on everyone and still typing everything into the computer just to be sure. 8 out of 10 for the absolutely metal scene of Joey stabbing what is essentially the big bad of the entire series in the eyeballs. 57. I love how dramatic the Spirit of the Ring makes moving a laptop. Also, brutal hand stabbing and hand birthing. 10 out of 10. 58. This is the second time we've had the characters drop down to near death HP, and I mean that's cool and all, but I don't think it was necessary to have them pretend that the Kirby NPC was going to be sacrificed, only to have Zork threaten a suicide explosion. 6 out of 10. 59. Any chapter involving someone saluting his skills as a gamer is a dangerous one, but I think Ghost Bakura committing suicide to crumble the dice shouldn't count at all like Yugi says it does, because the Spirit of the Ring clearly had extra dice lying around and he could have just rolled them instead. 9 out of 10. And that's all of the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga. I think it hasn't aged greatly, but it's a fun read on its own right. This is a video idea I wanted to get done for some reason, so my obligation to myself is finished. Have a good day or night, I guess. Battle sticks. 6. Fuck. God damn it. 40. Yugi mind breaks Kaiba, renders him... fuck. I also really enjoy the fact that this teenager, who, while a piece of shit, is turned into fuck, which is foiled by these fuck, god damn it, fuck, oh no, fuck, god damn it.